Does anyone have a question? Well, that's cool. I've answered everybody's questions.
Stuart, I don't really have a question. Maybe just more of a comment. I try to read your book every day. It's so interesting, Tantra. Um, on, I think it was May of 2023, you were talking about the crown chakra. And usually when I hear people talking about the crown chakra opening, I think, oh, that's enlightenment. They've made it. But the way you stated it in your book was that something to the effect that how once the crown opens, the soul moves into the cosmos and moves towards the state of enlightenment. So, in other words, that wasn't enlightenment, it's just moving towards. So, that was something that um, I had a misconception of. So, I wanted to thank you for that. And if there's anything else that you would like to speak upon, maybe the eighth chakra,
Well,
that
it's very difficult when people just assume they're enlightened. The crown chakra can open, it also can close. And if a person doesn't do continuous practice of inner work, the crown chakra will close. And all of that wisdom, that knowledge, it stops entering a human being. So, and also you have to realize when the crown chakra opens, the kundalini energy is like a rocket ship, and it takes you closer and closer to the source of all creative energy. It takes you closer and closer to where you transcend time and space, and your consciousness, it really goes above, and that's endless. So enlightenment isn't I got there and now I'm enlightened. Enlightenment is an endless process of growing. Because when you're dealing with enlightenment, you're dealing with energy that is literally infinite in the universe. There's no limit to enlightenment. So when people tell you I'm enlightened and I got it and I'm sitting here in lotus position and everybody bowed to me, I mean, it's just bullshit, You understand? I mean, enlightenment is the continuous process of growing. You've managed to evolve to where the crown chakra is open, and the soul needs to move endlessly into the cosmos because infinite energy is without any limitation. So I think, maybe I define it, I don't define it. Maybe enlightenment is another thing that people don't talk about. Enlightenment is the consistency of growing spiritually, being connected to what's infinite in the universe consciously, and then keep evolving in that energy so that there's more wisdom, there's more knowledge. You're getting freer and freer of your attachments to the earth and are being fed not by the energy of the earth, but the energy of the cosmos consciously. But I heard there used to be some guy, he was 10 years old, and everybody said he was a perfectly enlightened master. I mean, when I was younger, I forgot his name, but used to travel the world. He was a 10-year-old, 12-year-old kid who was the perfectly enlightened master. And I don't know anyone who declares perfection unless they're God. I mean, I go in the opposite direction. You know, God is perfect. The rest of us a bunch of A bunch of cars and those cars you drive in carnivals that bump into each other. The rest of us are like that. We're evolving towards perfection. And mostly people that proclaim that, they have strong spiritual ego and they want people to worship them, you know? And that's a serious problem because most people don't know the difference. Oh my God, he's a perfectly enlightened master. I'll run and God knows what happens. I can tell you honestly, I am not a perfectly enlightened master. I have a lot of work to do on myself. I'm grateful I have a lot of work to do on myself because I simply never want to arrive. So once you arrive, the whole process of spiritual growth stops. You're crystallized. So it's really important to get the crown chakra to open. But what's even more important is to recognize that when it opens, it allows you to be in touch with what's infinite in the universe. But in order to stay in touch with what's infinite in the universe, you have to continue to work on yourself. I mean, years ago, I used to meet people who, well, I don't have to work on myself. I'm living in the light of my guru. And I used to hear this from people. A lot of people used to tell me this. Well, why do I have to work on myself? I have the blessing of my guru, and that will take me, I don't have to do any work on myself. Well, I think the greatest insult you can possibly give your guru is tell him that you are responsible to take me all the way and I don't have to do anything. I'm completely entitled to allow you to do the work and I will just sit in your radiance. When I used to hear people tell me that, I haven't heard it in a long time, but I used to hear that kind of stuff. And I used to, what, you know? I couldn't think of a greater insult you can hand your guru. You do all the work and I will ride in the caboose and get there with you. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? I mean, my job is to train everybody. It's to teach you about what I talk about, growth, and how to do it. More importantly, how to do it and how to sustain it. Because honestly, one day I'm not going to be here. And if you don't learn this and continue to use it, then it's got to be a waste of everybody's time. Because that's the purpose of these classes, is to teach people how to build a chakra system so they can have their unique connection with God, spirit, and that they can do it, on their own. Does anyone else have a question? I mean, if I didn't get training from Rudy, I couldn't be here today doing what I'm doing. And he told me that all the time. He said, don't love me. Don't love me. Don't worship me. Don't build shrines to me. Just learn what I have to teach. And if you learn what I have to teach and you can pass it on to somebody else, Understand, you will be doing the greatest service for me that you can possibly do. And that's what these classes are about. Learn what this is all about. So, and everybody thought Rudy was going to live to 84 years old. He was 45 when he passed away in that plane crash. And most people were very shocked because they didn't learn. They just took it for granted he was going to be around forever. Anyway, it's not so bad to learn this. It's not such a terrible thing. This work is like a miracle. It's also very difficult. And I don't think it'll ever attract big crowds of people. But it's like a miracle, this work. If you can do it and it works for you, it's the fastest path to spiritual enlightenment that I've ever found. Does anyone else have a question or comment or anything? Okay, if there are no more questions, there will be meditation on Sunday. As I announced the other day, I'm going to have to hold the class a half hour earlier on Sunday. So it'll be 12:30 my time and whatever your times are all over the world here. So, I'm just telling you that. So remember that I'm going to send out the notice, read it. It's going to say 12:30, not 1 o'clock. All right. Thank you. God bless you all. And I'm looking forward to seeing you soon.
Thank you so much, Stuart.
Welcome.
You, Stuart.
A wonderful day today.
Thank you.